Right now, the United States, Russia, and China are locked in a quiet competition for a single prize, the strategic allegiance of India. The global map is fracturing into two camps. On one side, the Western economic bloc. On the other, a solidifying military alignment between Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran. While every other major power is picking a side, India is standing alone. It has 1.4 billion citizens, the fifth largest economy on the planet, and a rapidly expanding military, yet it has refused to join either axis. This policy of non-alignment complicates the long-term strategic designs of Washington, Moscow, and Beijing alike. India's sheer scale, combined with its refusal to commit to a bloc, makes it the most significant swing state on the global board. To understand this leverage, look at India's borders. India shares a highly militarized boundary with China, and the two nations remain in an active, unresolved conflict over territory in the Himalayas. Yet, despite this friction with Beijing, India continues to purchase the vast majority of its weaponry from Russia, along with millions of barrels of discounted Russian oil. Simultaneously, India maintains a $190 billion annual trade relationship with the United States, positioning itself as a vital economic partner for the West in Asia. This is further complicated by energy needs. India sources 85% of its crude oil from the Middle East, making regional stability a non-negotiable requirement for its economy. Because India serves as a primary customer to Russia, an economic partner to the West, and a rival to China, it remains uniquely insulated from standard international pressure. This map highlights the 3,488-kilometer border between India and China, pulsing at the Galwan Valley, where soldiers engaged in deadly clashes. If conflict erupts over Taiwan, a Western response including India's strategic weight shifts the entire military balance of Asia. On the western border, India faces Pakistan, a nation with a formidable nuclear arsenal and deep military ties with Beijing. The history of proxy conflicts here means any escalation between these two nuclear-armed neighbors risks pulling the United States, Russia, and China into a direct regional confrontation. These borders are not just local disputes, they are volatile tripwires that connect the interests of every major superpower. The Indian Ocean serves as the transit route for 80% of global oil trade. China is securing port access in Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Myanmar to encircle India and monitor these vital trade lanes. In response, India is expanding its ability to project naval power. This is the INS Vikrant, an aircraft carrier designed and built domestically to secure dominance over these waters. This maritime defense is backed by an expanding arsenal of nuclear-capable ballistic missiles, capable of striking targets anywhere on the Asian continent. Control over these waters grants effective veto power over the energy supplies of the world's largest economies, making the Indian Ocean the center of a silent battle for dominance. India manages these competing pressures through a doctrine it calls strategic autonomy, the ability to engage with all sides without ever signing a formal military alliance. This neutrality persists only as long as India's own borders remain secure. A direct military strike or severe economic pressure would force a definitive choice. If forced into an active conflict alongside the United States, India places China in a difficult two-front war across both the Pacific and the Himalayas. If India were instead pushed to align with Russia or China, it would force a massive restructuring of Western strategy in the Indo-Pacific, requiring allies like Japan and Australia to face a vastly expanded and united continental front. The outcome of that choice dictates the price of your energy, the security of global technology supply chains, and the structure of international alliances for the next century. India is unlikely to be the nation that starts the next major global conflict, but its leverage guarantees